one. We're going inside the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is Counter-Strike 1.6. It's the World Cyber Games with France taking on the reigning ESWC champions, Brazil. And I'll tell you what, Jeff, this has not been a tournament devoid of controversy. MiBr come into this game late, an hour late, and I'll tell you why. Because they have just been defeated by Indonesia in a match filled with controversy, filled with match conflicts, and now a pistol round about to be filled with bullets.
Here we go, MiBr playing it safe. 2 on the floor, that's Kogu and Nak. FNX playing over near the vents. We have Kogu up on top of the hut. Kiko going to be playing up in the rafters for EML. France, we have them in the lobby. That's MSX and Yorek making their way now into the lobby up on top of that ledge there in the lobby. Mats now and Hart's going to meet up with their teammates in the lobby area. And we will see what happens as Yorek now pushing into the hut. Mac now going to be waiting there for him from MiBr. Matt's still contemplating whether he's going to go into the hut or not, as EML is still hanging out in the lobby. They're taking their sweet time with 54 seconds left on the clock. We don't know what they're going to do as they are continuing to hang out in the lobby area. Hearts, MSX, Chubbs, and Matt all there. And let's take a look at what France decides to do with this round.
Yes, indeed. The front side have just held themselves back here. They've really played this one slowly, and credit to them. So a few of them have taken a few shots, though, and are low on the HP as they are looking to make an entry in towards the ramp room, and in they go. One by one, they funnel themselves down in towards that ramp. Mats is going to lead the assault down there. He spies one, and it'll be FNX that opens things up on MSX, but then Chubbs and Hearts with 1 and with 2, and EML have opened the scoring up here. 3 quick frags. Bruno of MiBr answers things back up. Kiko with another one, but Rigo will come back in on Chubbs will come in, and this is a one-on-one for the round. Chubbs put down the bomb, and now Kiko is going to make his way slowly around. 1 versus 1. Kiko spies the bomb and the dead body. He says a little prayer, but is looking around for the last player. He spies that the door is open. He finds him behind the box, and it'll be Chubbs of EML and France. It'll take the round, and France take an early initiative against Brazil in what is a must-win game for Brazil after their loss to Indonesia.
Yeah, the oldest trick in the book there that round on the lower bomb site of DE Nuke, opening that door, hiding behind the box. France able to pull that round off. Kiko, some nice frags there, but he wasn't. Bruno with the nice clutch frags there at the end, but Kiko wasn't able to finish it off with that 1 versus 1. Let's take a look at MiBr setup right now. Looks like they're sending 1, make that 2 over to the ramp room. Bruno and Nak headed that direction. Matt's going to be in the lobby. Hearts opening things up at the ramp room, taking down Bruno, who thought about pushing up early but was denied by France. France going to be hanging out in the lobby now, and ironic that the champions of ESWC would be playing France in a match for elimination. But MiBr losing another member just now to Chubbs. That would be FNX going down, and it looks like we're going to have EML pushing up into the hut. Oh, a nice MP5 frag onto Kogu, who was playing in the connector, and it looks like he's going to back off. It looks like Kiku now dropping back, and he is still playing pushed up in the hut. It looks like EML now getting ready to head towards the ramp room again. Yorek watching the flank for them, and they're taking their time as they slowly make their way into the ramp room. Here we go. You can see Chubb doing a little bit of wall spam here. Looks like they're going to drop down now in just a second, checking every spot in that ramp room as Chubbs makes his way down. Nak already dropped out in the vents there. The vents being broken out by EML as they make their way down. Nak now calling for the rotation from Kiko. Here we go. Oh, 1 deagle shot hitting Mads, but Mads quicker on the draw with that MP5, taking down Nak. Kiko going to go down for the final frag outside. Yorek finishing him off with the USP, and the score will be 2-0. Stu, what are your feelings about these eco rounds?
Well, I gotta say that, the Brazilian side trying to make it hard for France. They picked up 1 frag, but not enough. But the biggest factor is, I think that controversy has really fired up has really put a spanner in the works of the Brazilian side. And it's ironic that it's at another world tournament, because if I remember back to ESWC, Brazil was that time on the winning side of a controversy against attacks. Bruno opens things up, 1 frag, MSX replies, and MSX comes up with another one as well with that, he's going to make his way back. Kiko 1-2, nicely done. Rigo and, Chubbs is the last man standing. He's going to hold himself back, and he will just pull back. It's Chubbs with the bomb against Bruno and Kiko. and as Chubbs is about to make his way in towards this upper bomb site, he crouches himself down, puts in the code, and is now going to sit that bomb down. He will back himself away. Bruno is down low. It confirms there's no one here. Kiko's going to find him, and behind you he screams, and that'll be that. MiBr pick up the third round, and now we'll be buying a little bit earlier than scheduled.
Yeah, nice eco round there by MiBr. They pushed up, played aggressive very early on in the rounds too. Very much credit to them for playing that eco round. Very aggressive. They won the round. They got those frags in the lobby, and they did a nice round. Kiko with the nice clutch, working with Bruno as his teammate. Knew the bomb wasn't planted down below. He flanked around towards the opening, saw him, caught the guy off guard, and that was the final guy was Chubbs, and Chubbs didn't have any time to react. He was on his own, couldn't finish it off 2 versus 1. So now we have MiBr up 2-1, down 2-1. But they won that eco round, so it should be interesting to see whether EML is, in fact, able to buy guns. I doubt the fact that they will be able to buy weapons, seeing as they just lost all their guns that last round. Although I saw some with MP5s, it looks like some have AK-47, so do have some guns around the board, and it will be a full gun round early on in the game on the 4th round. As Kogu taking that off, taking down one from the ramp room. That was Chubbs going down. And it looks like we have Yorick up on the rafters, dropping down into the lobby. MSX and Hearts all there. This French team playing things very slow, playing it very methodically, toss. And let's follow to see what they decide to do. They'd like to stay in this lobby. We don't see a lot of spam or a lot of pressure from MiBr, and I think that's a big mistake, as MiBr could be scoring a lot of points with a lot of spam damage earlier on in these rounds. It looks like EML setting up to go out of the hut right here in these rounds. Yorick dropping down through the vents. It looks like he made his way all the way down, as MiBr has totally conceded the floor of the upper bomb site to EML. Yorick now down below as well. Oh, Kiko with a nice frag onto MSX. Kiko in the vents right now, making his way to the back, that back room in that near the lower bomb site, dropping back from the vents. The bomb's going to get planted. Kogu up in the rafters, dropping down, making that ladder sound. Going to try and trick his enemy to think that he went down the ladder when he still, in fact, he did go down the ladder now. But it looks like EML getting that bomb planted at that lower bomb site, trying to defend it. 3 versus 4, as here comes FNX down that back halls. Kiko going to spot one of the vents, takes out Maps, who was going looking for some enemies, and Kiko going to peek out now, making his way up toward. He spots one in the back corner. Now they know where he's at. Oh, the off frag from Kogu, and that will leave just Hearts as Knack takes him out. Do they have time for the defuse? Oh, yes, there it is. Nice defuse by MiBr, and they will even the score at 2 apiece. MiBr doing a good job by bringing it back on that eco round.
Yeah, after losing that first pistol round, MiBr have come all the way back and pulled this one to a 2-2 game after the opening 4 rounds. And, well, this French side, not devoid of confidence, certainly have tried to make things happen. And they did make it happen. It's the second round in a row they've got that bomb down. And the second round in a row they've, exposed MiBr. But once more, MiBr have come back and reclaimed that bomb and got the defuse and got the job done. But, France will take heart from this, but 2 straight round losses and not the 3 rounds that won earlier that you would have expected after the pistol round win means they are on a save big time, and Knack is going to save no mercy for Irek as he picks up that first frag with the M4. Hearts is waiting to make his entry into the smoke and into that tin can. They will edge their way out of there now and pushing forward. There'll be FNX coming up with 1-2. Very nicely done. Miss X is going to make his way around the very back of the map. FNX has opened up on a third player. It's Mats that's gone down, and Miss X and Chub are the last 2 men up, and FNX has got himself another one. That's his hat trick right there. And, Miss X is going to get picked off by FNX, and that'll be 4 out of the 5 for EML. And I'll tell you what, MiBr looking good.
MiBr doing exactly what they should be doing on a save for EML. They're just trying to not lose any guns, not lose any weapons, so they can save up all that money. Each weapon that you lose is about $3,000 to $4,000 wasted. So MiBr just trying to save out those weapons. We'll see what they decide to do this round. EML needs to pick up the pace if they want to win back some rounds here. I think MiBr looking to be the stronger team thus far, toss. So we'll see whether EML is able to reclaim the rounds to pick up some momentum here. MiBr seems to have things on lockdown for the moment.
Yes, indeed. So, EML going to make their way all around the right-hand side. Kiko's going to open up on Irek, and Chubs will avenge the death of Irek, and it'll make his way slowly around. There is Mats just on the backside looking for someone about to rotate and come outside, but no one wants to play, and MSX is just waiting, and, well, MiBr are just static in the middle. They've got their positions. EML going to have to come inside if they want to get that bomb down, although Chubs might find his way down on the far side. But right now, MiBr playing it safe and just playing it simple. Say, hey, We got the bomb sites. You want them? Come get them. And as Knack takes a look around, he's got FNX to his right-hand side. Hearts is making his way in, but as we scowl around, we do spy that Chubbs has made his way slowly in through the outside route. And can he get into that bomb site, Jeff?
I don't know. We'll have to take a look right now as it looks like we have Knack up in the upper rafters area following Chubbs, though. He's down below trying to come through the back stairs, sneaking down with Mads into that lower bomb site. And it looks like we don't have any members of MiBr down below, so it may be an easy win for EML as Bruno and FNX elsewhere taking out 2 members, but it looks like they're going to get the bomb planted down below. Chubbs and Mads, last 2 members left standing here for EML in a 2 versus 3 versus MiBr. Let's see what Bruno and FNX can do as well as Knack. Here they go, dropping 2 through the vents. He's going to break the vents, pop up, throw down some grenades, make his way in right now. Looking at the position, the point of view of Knack, spamming a little bit, spots one in the window room. Looks like Bruno doing a little bit of spamming up that direction. He turns around, spots the window room guy again. He's the last man standing. It's Chubbs. He goes down at the hands of FNX, and that will make the score 4-2 in favor of MiBr.
Yeah, MiBr picking things up off those opening 2 rounds, and you know what? This is a must-win game for them. They were just one of the teams on the other end of a big upset today. Indonesia beating MiBr earlier on, and well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, I don't even know the Indonesian team's name. That's how surprised I was that MiBr lost to them. And, well, you know, also today we've seen Ukraine come up big against Virtus Pro, and also Uzbekistan coming along and picking themselves a victory up over Germany. So, you know what, this tournament is filled with national champions that have come along and caused upsets. And, well, MiBr now know that they need to desperately make sure that they just play it safe, play it simple, if they want to add another title to their 2006.
Yeah, EML being a little bit too tentative here, tosses. They come out of the hut, getting dropped 1 by 1, and now they're down to just 3 members as they decide, it looks like, to make their way towards that ramp room, going through the radio room, into that prep room, towards the ramp room. Now here we go, throwing some flashbangs in, ducking back his Hearts, baiting his teammate as Chubb is left strung out on his own in the ramp room. Kogu now on the rotation. It looks like they're facing that direction as Chubbs with the headshot onto Kogu, nicely executed. FNX already dropping down, Bruno down below as well. Kiko, the only member of MiBr, knocked down, waiting for the bomb to come. The bomb is down in the upper bomb site. If we can take a look at Kiko's screen for a second, it looked like he was covering the bomb, but maybe not, as the bomb looks to be down. I believe it's down in the hut, actually, as it's a little bit tricky to see from the overview. But Mads going to go ahead and pick up the bomb, now making his way back to meet up with his teammates in the ramp room. That's a good place to decide where you want to go. Do you want to go upper? Do you want to go lower? Ramp room is a very versatile place. You can go either way. So let's take a look right now as EML making their way down in Hearts with a nice frag on FNX, who is in the vents. Let's see whether they can get the bomb planted. Here we go. Matt's punching in the code. Here comes Bruno from the back. All's taking down 1. Kiko peeking out in the vents, takes out another. Hearts drops Bruno. Can Kiko clutch 1 versus 1? The bomb wasn't planted. He never got it down. Hearts going to try and make his way over, and the target has been saved as time runs out. Kiko baiting, waiting out that clock. Nicely done, and Hearts not able to get the bomb planted. Toss.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking right there as Hearts was left stranded. No time left to finish the job. One-on-one. Well played, Kiko there, really using the clock to his advantage and making the most of that. And now EML sit 5 straight rounds without a win and know that they are right up against it against the ESWC champions who, well, are now needing to hit form here on Nuke, and they're going to make their way slowly forward as they have all but Galils, I believe, have France, and they're going to make their way past the door or just hold on and shoot that door as they will double themselves back and put a few shots through the radio room and just hold off EML. They have been patient with their attacks. They haven't been, quick off the gun or trigger happy, and they're going to make their way slowly forwards. Chubbs comes up with 1. Kogu goes down as Mats makes his way slowly back. It's going to be Erek that'll make his way through as well. Chubbs comes in with a frag on Bruno. Kiko's trying to rotate around the back of them, but Rico and Mats both picking themselves up the frags, and now Miss X is going to put that bomb down for EML and France, and that'll be that. And MiBr now need to make this one count. They've 2 players against 5 as they will make their way through. Kiko and Knack look like they will probably just hold on to those M4s. No need to go hard on this one because they've won 5 straight rounds. They've got 5 players still to deal with, and in fact, guess that's exactly what they're going to do. Knack makes his way to the roof, and Kiku runs home to mommy as MiBr will drop that round but still lead 5-3.
All right, well, MiBr saving out their weapons. A nice exit frag there by Knack onto Hearts. and that's going to leave. Oh, the bomb will take out another member of EML, so some guns dropping for EML. That's going to cause some havoc this round, but they should have enough money for the buy as they won around there. You can see some drops but amongst the teammates, picking up a couple guns there. But MiBr saving out their weapons. They should be a little bit strapped for cash this round, but MiBr still up 5-3 right now. So MiBr is looking at a nice lead. If they can keep it cushy, it will be nice going into second half. Following what they're going to do right now, EML taking it slow again, and it looks like they're going to send one into the hut right now. That's Irek, as it looks like there's some smoke in the hut entrance. It looks like we have Knack up in the rafters. FNX playing on the floor, takes out one. MSX with a reply onto FNX. Knack, can he get more frags? He's going to drop down onto the hut. It looks like, as we follow MSX, throwing a flashbang and a grenade into the hut area, and it looks like we have EML still playing from this lobby. And Toss, they like to just sit in the lobby, and that's what they've been doing all game long. They just sit in the lobby and decide where they're going to go from there, and I think that MiBr should really capitalize on that, throw some more grenades, do some more spamming, and they could have a better advantage. And right now, here we go, EML making entrance into the ramp room, Bruno going down, oh, and Kogo going to get glocked in the head as he tries to reload his weapon, and here we go as Chubbs going to get the bomb planted here in just a moment. There he goes, punching in that code, as Stu likes to say, and we'll see what Knack and Kiko can do. They may decide to save out their guns again, as it looks like that may be, oh, here we go, Knack watching as Hearts come straight out the door. Knack watching him from above the light, and it looks like we're going to have another save round for Knack, as it looks like they're saving out their weapons. Kiko going down at the back of the ramp room, and that's going to be Chubbs getting that frag. Knack saving out his gun. The score will be 5-4 in favor of MiBr. Closing down that gap is the Team France.
Yeah, job done once again, and that'll be that fourth round. 9 rounds played here as MiBr just start to quibble a bit. Knack picks up a nice exit frag there from Chubbs, who got a little bit eager on the trigger. And, MiBr now need to just steady the ship. They've lost 2 straight rounds. They've kept weapons on some of them. They're having to swap some of these weapons out. Knack, in particular, hasn't died in 2 rounds, still has the money to buy up for his teammates, and he will share the love around the Brazilians. But, we'll see. This is the last round that they can afford to lose until they go into a save, I would guesstimate, as EML are going to push forward here, buoyed by their recent successes. Hearts will make his way around. That one is just going to miss him as you hear the tracer fire coming across. Hearts is pushed along outside, but he's the last man, only man in there. The rest of them here, as Jeff said in the last round, just stuck in the lobby. I don't know whether there are free mints or whatever in that lobby, but they love it there as Kogu comes up with the M4 frag against Mats. Kogu returning after a brief spell playing football in Qatar, of all places. But, Brazilians, that's one of the things they do best, and that is playing the football. But now they're trying to play Counter-Strike, and they'll make their way forward. Matt's going to make his way slowly back in towards that upper bomb site. Bomb will go down there, and there's Kiku making his way up from the vents. He's dropped one frag in. He's going to be grenaded down by Mats. Fire in the hole. He gets that one. FNX comes up with one. Hearts returns fire, though, and now Knack making his way down towards that bomb. Sitting on top of that box, it's Hearts, the only man that can stop him. 1 on 2. Knack and Bruno, bomb defused. Hearts deciding it wasn't worth going hard for. He got the frag on Knack, but not enough, and MiBr will get away 6-4.
Yeah, the scores now, taking a look at the scoreboard, we have FNX leading MiBr, 17 frags so far, looking nice. Not as nice as Spawn was looking earlier in that game, NIP versus NOA. He dropping 25 1/2, but of course, NOA coming out over on top of NIP, 16-9. That was a great game that we saw earlier, Toss. But back inside this game, it looks like we're going to see a fast tactic from EML. They may be on the same. No, it looks like they have weapons this round, as here they go, headed towards that ramp room area. Bruno and Kogu both playing that spot. Bruno with the M4 shot onto Yorek, and it looks like Mats and Chubb's going to fall back. The bomb has been dropped in lobby. Hearts feeling out outside to see what's going on. Kiko playing outside. Looks like we're going to see Kogu doing a little bit of spamming through the box, trying to do some damage on Mads, who's trying to push up through the prep room from the radio room. He may drop back here in just a moment, as it looks like Chubb's still hanging out in the lobby. MSX going to be there as well. FNX playing up on top of the hut. Here goes MSX, ready to push into the hut right now. He's trying to peek out that window, see if he can spot anybody in that connector. Getting ready to throw a flashbang. Here comes some grenades into the hut from MiBr, and Bruno from the ramp room taking out Mads. Chubb's gonna respond onto Bruno, and it looks like Kogu now stranded on his own in the ramp room, but it looks like we're gonna have EML headed into that upper bomb site. It could be a 2-1 split with the 3 remaining members that we have getting ready to head into that upper site. Looks like MSX is in the hut right now, watching out that window. Rigo now headed back towards the ramp room. MSX getting ready to peek out of the hut. Here he goes. He runs into one on the floor. Who is that? It's Knack. Knack takes him out with the FAMAS. Rigo getting spammed through the wall of the hut. That's going to be the round. FNX, coming up behind him. That's going to be the round, making the score 7-4 in favor of MiBr.
Yeah, 7-4 the score. MiBr picking up 2 straight rounds and just reversing things after having lost 2 straight rounds. So the past 4 rounds, in fact, have been split nice and evenly between the 2 teams. But now it's MiBr's chance to really extend themselves. They had 2 FAMASes that last round, as you pointed out, and I think they'll change up those this round. They were in a bit of a spot of bother with the money before. But as you see now, as they grenade in towards that tin can, nothing moving inside as EML on a save will push forward slowly towards this radio room. Nice stack. Bruno 1-2, very nicely done. And EML will funnel in one by one in towards that radio room. Matt pulls back. 2 deagle shots being spammed in by Erex. 60 points of health he has left. And he's just going to back away. Kogu 1-2. And the last man standing for the French team is gone. Kogu completed his hat trick, and MiBr pick up a simple win. And well, 8-4 the score, 3 left in the half. What do you think the goal will be for EML?
I think the goal is to get as many rounds as they can remaining in the half toss, obviously, but they want to cling on, they want to stay on, they don't want to get down in the money system. If they get down in the money system, they're screwed. They have to manipulate the money system to their advantage, and that's going to be so important. I think another thing that I wanted to mention, Toss, is that it's so important for MiBr to establish themselves in this tournament. They have not so far. They lost to who did you say?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. I mean, this is a team that came in first at ESWC, but it's not the same team. Obviously, as we're seeing right now, if MiBr is able to get a decisive victory here, I think they will reestablish a bit of their credibility, and that's what's going to be important for MiBr. So that's MiBr's goal. But we're going to see right now as EML getting the bomb planted in the upper bomb site. MiBr still has 4 members left alive. Looks like they're sending 2 up into the rafters. That's Kogu and Knack. Kiko going to make his way up there as well, sending 3 members up to the rafters. Here they go, peeking out. Looks like Chubb's going to take one out, spotting one in the vents. Matt's going to drop Bruno. Kogu going down as well. Chubbs with a 3-kill round, making a big round for EML as they take that upper bomb site by storm. The score will be 8-5 in favor of MiBr.
Fantastic entry to that bomb site right there from EML, picking up the frags as they go, owing a lot to Chubbs for that one, picking up the hat trick as you call, but EML back with a bang, and the score sits at 8-5 as we approach the halftime. 2 more rounds to go, and now they're going to make their way forward. EML lead their assault. Which way they're going to go? Looks like they're going to run a 2-3 splits. No, it'll just be Hearts that goes outside this time, and EML will sit themselves down. MiBr look like they may push forward quite a bit here as I try to push around. Kiku's making a move on the outside. Kogo's already opened things up with 1 frag. He's quickly on the patrol for another. MSX around the back, and well, these EML guys have been pushed a long, long way back, but Miss X comes up with the AK headshot. Don't mistake that for the Miss X of the Girls of Destruction there. I'm sure she's not playing for the French team. But as we make our way forward, it is MiBr that have been pushed back one more time now. They tried to be aggressive off the go, and now have been pushed all the way back, and EML have found their favorite spot on the map. That is that lovely entry room, and as they make their way forward, Chubbs is going to pick himself up the bomb and is now going to make his way slowly around towards the radio, looks over towards that ramp room, nothing moving. Chubbs is just waiting, 2 shots being spammed in by his teammate, and he's just going to hold himself off. Looking around, we have ourselves Bruno that's guarding that ramp room, still in good nick as he's going to grenade over towards the 2 of them that are there, but he hasn't got a shot on them either. And so things slow down one more time as Hearts is about to go on in towards the middle area. Knack is there, picks up an M4. FNX and Knack have opened things up, and well, the EML have been destroyed in one quick route. We look for the final player of the EML side, and well, unfortunately, I'm a crap cameraman and I couldn't find him in time.
Yeah, EML with a failed rush inside. MiBr locking it down. MiBr is really pulling ahead right now, going into the last round. They want to take this one 9-6, a little bit iffy first half score, but a 10-5 one would be much solider. Much more solid for MiBr, as I invent words on the mic, of course. But MiBr really playing well right now. If they can close it out 10-5, Stu, I think they'll have an easy time going into second half. So we're going to see what EML does this round. Looks like they're on a partial bye, don't have full weapons, but Yorick opening things up with that Galil, taking down Knack, Kiko, Kogu, and FNX locking down the upper bomb site as they try and come out. Bruno with the flank from behind, and Mads is trapped as Bruno finishes him off as well, and MiBr will close it out. 10-5 will be the first half score, and I think MiBr should make short work of Team France going into the second half.
Yes, indeed, and but you got to give credit to Team France. You know what? They came in this. They're not the team that anyone expected to do a whole lot. They've come in, they've got an opportunity, and there's something to build from in that second half, so they'll take heart. You've been inside the game with Tospan and Smeagol. The second half is coming your way in just a moment. We'll be right back. Walking past it with that.
Yep.
See, we're everywhere.
I've seen two jerseys, two Chelsea jerseys.
See, we rule.
Brazil rules.
Jeff's going to get up and dance for you in a minute to that lovely Sean Paul.
Go ahead. You first. Hello, Doomweaver.
Okay, welcome back. We're getting this one underway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's MiBr taking on EML of France. The halftime score was 10-5, and EML now will look to build. If they can take a pistol, convert. Well, they couldn't convert in the first half, it had to be said, but if they can get themselves a little bit of a foundation, maybe they can start to make inroads into the Brazilians who, will be looking themselves to be getting some confidence out of this game. They are, after all, the ESWC champions against all odds, and now they will want to be pushing forward. They've lost one game already in the group stages to Indonesia, which will have given them a huge confidence devoid, and now as we have hearts going down, that's the start MiBr wanted as they funnel all up one by one up the stairs, and they're about to spring death from above onto EML. Miss X doesn't know what hit him as he makes his way back in towards the middle. Mats comes up with one. FNX goes down, bomb planted. EML have leveled things back up with a frag, and here comes Kiku and Irek, and these frags are going to and fro. Bruno finally picks one up on, he picks up 1 and 2, but MSX is going to get that one, and that'll be that. The bomb planted, and Knack finishes things off. So nice round from MiBr, efficient start.
Yeah, great start by MiBr, as you mentioned, Toss. They came in, straight rushed the ramp room, wrapped around, came back to the ladder, got that nice frag at the ladder. EML playing a bit too slow, and that frag at the ladder allowed MiBr to bring all their members up the ladder and into the top, the upper bomb site, and then they got that plant down, and they were able to lock down that upper bomb site as they got all 5 members into that site. So nicely done by MiBr. Looks like we're going to see an outside tactic from MiBr right now. We go, seeing some USPs starting things off. Kogu going to start us off with a beautiful frag against Yorick with the USP. Doing a little bit of spamming now is Knack, but there are no more members of the French team outside. It looks like Chubb's now rotating outside, and he's going to be over by the red box, peeking out a little bit. He gets dropped by Bruno. Knack going to do a little bit of damage there, spotting that window room. Hart's going to be over there, and here we go, throwing some flashbangs, and it looks like taking some damage is MiBr. Here they go, ducking into the upper bomb site right now. The floor is clear. Here goes Knack, launching a grenade over to the Raptors. Oh, a headshot from Hart's with the USP onto Kiko. Kiko going to get the nade frag, though, back onto Hart, so a double frag there as MiBr finishes off the final two members of EML, making the score 12-5 overall in favor of MiBr.
Jeff, I want to pick your brain for a bit whilst we're at this final disadvantage for them after the after the pistol round, for the French. We've seen a lot of Counter-Strike today here at the World Cyber Games. Is anyone taking a fancy to see who's going to go all the way?
I don't know. You put me on the spot a little bit there, Stu, but I thought Nip played very well today, but they lost. So, I mean, other than that, they played pretty well. But I think NOA topped Nip, so I've seen NOA playing very well, and that, as well as the Asian teams. Team 3D coming from behind to win their matches today as they lost to Mouse Sports, but they were able to finish out their group. They could have they faced elimination desperately, but I think they're still a top contender. Really, Stu, I don't know. There's so many great teams here. So there we go, a very simple save round for MiBr. But Stu, what are your thoughts?
Well, I love the underdog. I love seeing the fact that Indonesia have picked up a round, Uzbekistan have picked up a win, and the Ukraine have picked up a win. I love that factor. That's what the World Cyber Games is all about. Last year it was Kazakhstan going all the way to second place, losing to Team 3D, the eventual champions, and now two-time champion. I love seeing those underdogs come along. If one of those three could take it, I'd be over the moon. Do I think any one of those is going to? No, I'm not an idiot, but I think there is real possibilities for another team to go a long way. Actually, on yesterday's performances, I thought Virtus were going to go a long way, but then they lost to the Ukraine, so it's still anyone's ballgame. But as we open things up here on EML's first buy round, MiBr have really made them pay, and they've made them hurt. The last three men up for EML are Irek, Hearts, and Chubbs, but they've been forced all the way out of that upper bomb site. Kiko is right in position, down low, in fact, as he snuck himself into position rather cheekily. And now we have Kogu lining up that AWP, looking for some action at the ramp room. Nothing moving just yet as Chubbs is about to go down one of those ladders in the vents and is looking around. There's Hearts picking up the frag on Kogu, and MiBr actually have a man disadvantage here. Rigo going to pick up, oh no, Hearts there, and now it's all on Kiko. Kiko with 2 to do. He's going to make his way forward, gets one. This for the hat-trick, going to save the round for MiBr. No! Chubbs comes back, and on the first buy round for EML, unless that bomb explodes, they're going to pick it up, bomb defused, and EML will not be written off.
No, EML picking up a crazy round there. Kiko almost clutching it out. 3 versus 1. Very well played by Kiko. And EML is looking to go on and try and win back some momentum. Try and win back some momentum, if you will, and right now they are not looking to be in that situation. They need to try and string a couple round wins together to pick that up. It's so important in this game of Counter-Strike. So we'll see whether EML is able to do that right now. Following MiBr to see what MiBr does. Now we can see Kiku headed outside with Bruno and Kogu. We have FNX and Nak now pushing out into the HUD, coming out into the onto the floor. Here we go right now as Bruno's going to get 1 frag, but not before Mats and Yorick get 2. Bruno and Kogu going to work on 3 members of EML. Mats, Yorick, and MSX all going down. FNX with the headshot onto Chubbs, and Bruno going to get that bomb planted as Hearts is the last man standing, and MiBr has worked themselves back into this round as Hearts is up in the rafters. Bruno going to get that bomb planted. Here you can see Hearts at 100 HP, going to get spammed in the head by Bruno. Nice shot there. That's going to make the score 14-6 overall, and we are closing in on what could be a victory for MiBr.
Yeah, Hutch should have saved there. There was no way he was going to get anything out of that 1-on-3. They had him surrounded as well, and now he's going to be forced to, run with a USP like the rest of his buddies. And, as he makes his way slowly forward, it's going to be, all 4 players will make their way through. As we look around for MiBr, they're going to go outside with 3, as Nak and FNX go inside, but the remaining 3 make their way forward. One of them is the bomb carrier. That is Kiku, I believe. Bruno, in fact, and he's picked himself up the frag as Irek goes down. And now we spy around to the right-hand side. Kogu's looking around for some action. Nothing outside as this X has pushed himself all the way in towards the tin can. He's looking around. No one charging themselves in. He might find FNX, but Chubbs is about to find himself some action inside the lobby area. He looks around, gets shot down. FNX and Kogu both picked up other frags as well. And now as they look around for that final man, it's Nak that'll pick up the frag. And EML go down in a blaze of glory. We're on the match point, Jeff. And France, well, c'est la vie for them. They're all but done.
Yeah, France going to be in a tricky money situation right now. They are looking at some FAMASs. They are going to go for the buyout here. This is game point for EML. If MiBr wins, they will advance. And if they don't, They will not. So this is going to be it for MiBr. And right now it's a crucial round here. So we're going to follow the action as it looks like Kiko throwing a flashbang out of the squeaky door. Here we go. He's going to rush out right now. Oh, Chubb's missing some crucial shots there on Kiko. Kiko able to dispatch him. And it looks like MiBr going to run over into this upper bomb site. Ducking back now is Kiko, but the bomb is down to the upper bomb site. Yorick going to get 2 big frags. Bruno going to drop Yorick, but Bruno claiming the final frag onto Hearts as MiBr will claim victory 16-6 over France. Toss, what were your final thoughts on that matchup?
Well, great game from MiBr. They can take great heart from their performance and will take a lot of confidence from that. That's the important factor for them. You know, confidence. If you can build confidence going into day 3, then day 4, then you're still in with a realistic chance when we go into the best of 3 format. So build confidence, build teamwork. You know, they've just reintroduced Kogu to this lineup. That's an important factor. Once they've got that, then they can go on and, you know, maybe challenge the best of them. I don't know. There's a lot of Counter-Strike still to be played, Jeff, and, well, we'll be back, so make sure you don't go anywhere, because otherwise you'll miss one hell of a tournament here at the World Cyber Games 2000.